On May 10th of last year, the Lopes said farewell to the 2019 season in a devastating loss against New Mexico State. But tonight, on February 6th, 2020, they embark on a new journey looking to seize control on opening night. Alongside Kyle Borg, I'm Jack O'Hara as we welcome you inside the GCU softball stadium for some Thursday night softball between the Grand Canyon University Lopes and the Stanford Cardinal. And obviously, Kyle, like I just mentioned, the Lopes coming up short just a little bit of their goal last year after a devastating loss to the New Mexico State Aggies. But as they say, with darkness comes light, and tonight they embark on that new journey.
Well, Jack, a couple positives from last season. The Lopes had another 30-plus win season, so they had that going for them. And then, unfortunately, here at the GCU softball stadium, did fall to the New Mexico State Aggies in the WAC semifinal. So, you know, they're itching to get back to that WAC semifinal and hopefully the WAC championship game and ultimately the NCAA tournament.
And, of course, with a new season comes a lot of new faces. The Lopes losing 4 seniors a year ago, including the Smith sisters, Maddie Dowdle and Taylor Kay. But again, it's 2020, a new year, a lot of new faces for the Lopes.
6 new faces to be exact, Jack. 4 of them are from the state of Arizona, so some hometown girls coming into the softball team this year. They're really excited about freshman pitcher Sydney Sahar, who's just going to add another good arm and another ace to this pitching staff. And a couple of them are also utility players, so it adds some depth because they can play anywhere on the field.
Well, let's not waste any more time. It's opening night. It's 90s night here in the GCU softball stadium. When we come back, it's national anthem, starting lineups, first pitch, softball, right here on GCU TV. GCU softball stadium in the heart and soul of Phoenix, Arizona for opening night between the Grand Canyon University Lopes and the Stanford Cardinal. Jack O'Hara here with you alongside Kyle Borg. And Kyle, we kind of talked about it on the pregame. Lopes looking to start off strong here after a semifinal loss last season here in Phoenix on their home turf, looking to rewrite history here tonight.
Yeah, Jack, unfortunately the season did end early for the Lopes a year ago here at the GCU softball stadium, where they did host the WAC tournament, and they're set to host the WAC tournament yet again this year after it was moved from Kansas City about a few weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And New Mexico State came in here last year and really competed, took down the Lopes on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning to propel them to the championship game before they fell to the Redhawks of Seattle, who were picked to win the conference this year.
Well, it looks like Denhart is ready. Tegan Cowles is ready. Let's do it here in Phoenix. First pitch just a bit outside, and we are underway here to kick off the 2020 campaign. Ryan Denhart, of course, a year ago for the Lopes, going 11-7 and 2.21 ERA as she walked 29, struck out 68 overall. Be a 1-0 count to Cowles here. That one just a bit inside, so the count moves to 2-0 on Cowles. It'll be Tegan Cowles, Sydney Huff, and Emily Young for the Cardinal. Coming off a 33-win season a year ago, 33-20 to be exact, as that pitch is cut on and missed. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Stanford season coming to an end last year on May 18th with a 2-0 loss against Boise State in Gainesville, Florida. They went 6-6 on the road a year ago, trying to improve those numbers here in 2020 as that one's ripped into center field. And just like that, Ryan Denhart has herself 1 out here in the top of the first inning. So Cowles hits that one right on the nose, but to no avail.
Second baseman, Sydney Huff.
With Gianna Nicoletti manning things in center field for the Lopes. It'll be Nicoletti in center, Brooke Cantillo in right, and Jaden Reed out there in left. And that'll bring up Sydney Huff. Huff takes a fastball outside, count moves to 1-0. That'll be Taylor Olson manning the hot corner at third, Lorianne Olson at second, Kaylee Dietrich in at first base, as Kaylee Holland, of course, calling balls and strikes behind home plate for Ryan Denhart. As the 1-0 offering to Huff. Right down the middle for a strike, count moves to 1-1. Lily Bishop, of course, the designated player tonight, hitting cleanup for Coach Pearson. As the 1-1 delivery from Denhart, Off-speed pitch. Just off the outside corner, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch on the inside corner is a strike. That evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Huff will look to choke up on the bat now. That 1-1 offering from Denhart. You tell that she wanted that pitch, would have moved the count to 1-2. Battles back to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes after the count went to 2-1. We'll see what she offers here on 2-2. Goes with the fastball outside, just misses, and the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Huff. And Emily Young, the shortstop for the Cardinal, waiting patiently on deck. As the payoff pitch from Denhart, just a bit outside, and Huff will reach with the first walk of the night for the Cardinal. A ton of speed over there on first base for Huff. So we'll see how Ryan Denhart deals with the runner on first base, as she deals again with Emily Young, digging in for the first time this season, the sophomore out of Mason, Ohio. First pitch outside, as it looked like Huff playing mind games over there at first base. Be a 1-0 offering from Denhart. Pitch cut on and missed. Or excuse me, fouled off as the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. Huff, like we mentioned, with great speed over there on first base. It'll be interesting to see how Young battles here against Denhart. As the 1-1 offering, lays down the bunt, misses. As Holland thought about going to first base, no one covering as the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Denhart, of course, trying to keep this ball low in the zone. Would love a double play ground ball to get herself out of the inning. As the 1-2 pitch, just a bit outside, throw to first as Holland tries to nab Huff over there at first base. We mentioned Huff playing a little bit of mind games with Holland right off the bat here tonight as the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch count already up to 10 for Ryan Denhart. As the 2-2 pitch, fastball on the inside corner, called strike 3 by the home plate umpire Robert Huff. And Emily Young will take a seat. So 2 away now for the Lopes with a runner on first base. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Kristen Ianui.
Looks like Ryan Denhart's finally found her groove, got strikeout number 1 of the season. She had 59 last year. Looking to add to that total and drive that number up coming into this year. Her second year here with the Lopes after transferring from Maryland.
And that first pitch, of course, called strike on the inside corner. We see Ryan Denhart getting very comfortable with that inner part of the plate here, as Ianui, coming off a great junior campaign a year ago, entering her senior season, rips that one foul. Emily Schultz waiting on deck, had to get out of the way of that one as the count moves to quickly 0-2. So Ryan Denhart getting ahead of Ianui quickly in this at-bat, as it'll be, of course, Brooke Cantillo, Jaden Reed, and Kaylee Holland for the Lopes in the bottom half of the first inning. We'll see what Huff does on first base with 2 outs. 0-2 pitch, fastball left up. Couldn't get Ianui to chase the ladder there as the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jaden Reed playing fairly deep to left. I'll see what Denhart goes with here on 1 ball and 2 strikes. Goes with the fastball, cut on and fouled straight back. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trying to catch Inoue off with the fastball. As Denhart will get a new baseball here from the home plate umpire, Robert Huff. Again, Kyle, we talked about some of those new faces out there, especially on the left side of the infield this year for Coach Pearson.
Savannah Torville making the shift from second base last year over to shortstop. And Taylor Olson coming in playing third base this year. And Kaylee Dietrich, tonight at least, moved from behind the plate to that first base position on the right side of the infield, as Olson played first base last season. So shifting back to their natural positions are some of the Lopes players here on opening night, as that one fouled straight back and out of play.
Of course, Lopes losing 4 graduating seniors. Of course, both Shea and Sierra Smith on the left side of that infield. Taylor Kay out in center field. And, of course, Maddie Dowdle in left, as that one is cut on and missed. Denhart picks up 2 Ks in the top of the first as Stanford strands 1. So let's head to the bottom of the first. It's Stanford nothing, and the Lopes coming to bat.
Well, Jack, it's time for the upcoming schedule, brought to you by BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country. We've got more of the GCU kickoff tournament all weekend long. Tomorrow, the Lopes, they'll face Weber State at 4:30 p.m., followed by another game with this Stanford team right after that one at about 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. And then they'll be back on Saturday, where they will get New Mexico and Weber State for a second time. And you can catch every game live right here on GCU TV.
Ryan Denhart making quick work of the Stanford Cardinal. At least the first 4 batters in their lineup. 2 strikeouts, only allowing 1 walk, 1 left base runner for the Cardinal, as it'll be right-hander Maddie Dwyer on the mound for the Cardinal, junior out of Orange County, California. It'll be her junior season, and she makes her first outing of the year. And of course, we talked about some of those new faces for the Lopes. We got Brooke Cantillo in right field leading things off for the Lopes. In left, it will be Jaden Reed. Kaylee Holland behind the dish, she'll bat third. Designated player for the Lopes, Lily Bishop, she'll clean things up. Savannah Torville batting 5th for the Lopes, as Taylor Olson will hit 6th. Lorianne Olson 7th. Kaylee Dietrich 8th. And to round out the order for the Lopes, it will be Gianna Nicoletti. She's in center field. So Cantillo will dig in here for the Lopes, trying to get themselves a first inning base runner.
Possibly get that in her first collegiate at-bat here. Jack, freshman, leading things off for GCU. See if she can get her first career hit.
And the first pitch from Dwyer is a fastball, poked in the air to left field. Coming on is Herexo, and Herexo makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out for Dwyer here in the bottom of the first. So Cantillo trying to make something happen right off the bat. But skies that one in the air to left, and Jaden Reed will now get an opportunity batting second here on opening night for Coach Pearson.
Also a freshman, batting 1 and 2, so 2 freshmen right back-to-back in this Lopes lineup. See if Jaden Reed can get anything going for GCU, as Kaylee Holland will be right behind her. She's in the on-deck circle right now. Freshman from Tucson, Arizona. Utility player for GCU. There's
that pitch in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Count moves to 1-1.
Reed's out in left field tonight. She's getting her first collegiate start as well in the outfield. Coach Pearson, before the game, was talking to us about her arm in the outfield. She's got a good arm out there in left field, and she's really excited about Jaden Reed.
As that one's poked in the air to left, and that'll fall for a base hit. So Jaden Reed starting off her GCU career in a strong way with a base hit to left in front of Herexo. And the Lopes have themselves a first inning base runner.
There it is, first collegiate hit for Jaden Reed. It's a single, and now let's see if the Lopes can get rolling against this Stanford defense. See if Holland can maybe move her over to second or third, and if Holland can get on base for Lily Bishop. Lily Bishop, another one of those transfers last year for GCU out of NC State. she's got a big, powerful bat as well. So followed up by Savannah Torville.
First pitch to Holland is whacked in the air to left field, but foul, a long foul ball, and a loud strike one for Kaylee Holland.
Kaylee Holland saying, don't forget about me. Kaylee Holland, last year, she batted .266 with 4 home runs of her own, so she can hit the long ball as well. So be careful of that, and that pitch looked very favorable for Kaylee Holland just a little bit early on it as she pulled that one way down that left field line.
Had herself an on-base percentage of .333, trying to get something in motion for the Lopes offense here in the first as she skies that one in the air to left. Not quite as hard, but the count moves now to no balls and 2 strikes as Dwyer again looking to get out of this one quickly. Trying to avoid any first inning trouble with Lily Bishop on deck. We've seen Lily Bishop with the power last year. Multi-home run games a year ago from Lily Bishop.
She had 4 total home runs on the year. So she was a nice little transfer before the season started last year for GCU. A little bit of a late get, really, so coming into the team just a little bit late, but Lily Bishop coming up right now, you got to be careful of her because she can get things going. She even had a triple last year. I remember that one very well, right off the bottom of the wall, and she turned that second base corner hard, and she was in there standing up.
So we'll see what Lily can do here in her first at-bat with a runner on first base. Again, trying to pass the baton here to Savannah Torville waiting on deck. As the first pitch from Dwyer on the outside corner. Called strike one, count moves to 0-1. And if Lily Bishop can pass the baton to Savannah Torville, Torville, of course, homering within her first 3 games of the year last year. First collegiate home run coming against Oklahoma a year ago on the home turf. As Dwyer gets the sign from Dixon. Has played it her corners beautifully so far here in this first inning as that pitch is slapped the other way, foul. The count moves quickly now to no balls and 2 strikes. So Maddie Dwyer doing an excellent job getting ahead of these Lopes hitters early on in this game. Got Brooke Cantillo to sky one to left field on the first pitch, a fastball. And getting ahead quickly to Jaden Reed before she slapped one in front of left fielder Herexo. As the 0-2 offering from Bishop. Fastball in the inside corner. That one clips Bishop, and she'll head on over to first base with a hit by pitch. So not exactly what Maddie Dwyer wanted on that last pitch. Coming just a little too bit inside on that 0-2 offering. Now the Lopes are in business. Runners on first and second and 2 away.
And Savannah Torville coming in at that 5 spot. Last year, Savannah Torville batted .308. She played and started in all 52 games for the Lopes, and she had multiple home runs.
First pitch cut on and missed, count 0-1.
She had 10 home runs last season. So Savannah Torville can put that ball out of this ballpark at any given moment. So you definitely don't want to give her one close to where she can pull it down that left field line.
Schultz playing in at first base. 0-1 pitch. Misses just a little bit low. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. Would sure get things going here on 90s night in the GCU softball stadium.
Absolutely. A little 3-run home run might go a long way for this in this ball game, actually. Both sides, they're 1-1 against each other all time. Last year's meeting was a 5-0 Stanford win.
Fouled straight back. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we'll see what Maddie Dwyer wants to do here on 1-2. Reed off second, Bishop off first. A single probably gives the Lopes a 1-0 lead here with Reed on second base. Taylor Olson waiting on deck. But Savannah Torville doing battle at the moment with Dwyer. Behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dwyer up to 9 pitches here in this first inning. We'll see if she goes with the off speed on 1-2, goes with the fastball just a bit outside, and the count levels up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Young playing deep in the hole at short. Inoue playing right at the bag at third base as the 2-2 pitch is taken up as the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes as Dwyer was trying to get Torville to chase the ladder there. to no avail, as it'll be a 3-2 payoff pitch coming with 2 outs, runners on first and second. We're in the bottom of the first inning, no score between the Cardinal and the Lopes.
And this is a Savannah Torville count, Jack. 3-2, you got to throw her something to hit.
Payoff pitch. Fouled off third base side, right over the head of Taylor Olson as she has to move out of the way.
That one right there, Savannah Torville just under or over top of that one as she fouled that one off straight back over there into the Lopes dugout. So another 3-2 count, or another 3-2 pitch coming in this 3-2 count. So
if anything, moving the pitch count up for Dwyer here. Another payoff pitch. We'll do it once more. That one tapped off the foot of Torville. As home plate umpire Robert Huff once again confirming off the foot of Savannah Torville. So we'll do it one more time. Pitch number 8 in this at-bat coming up between Dwyer and Torville. And Reed off second, Bishop off of first. Dwyer going with the fastball on those last 2 pitches. Wouldn't be surprised to see the off speed here on 3-2. Goes with the fastball once more, as Savannah Torville almost takes out her own coach on that one.
Absolutely. Coach Pearson doing a good job getting out of the way down that left field line right there behind third base. That one came in quite fast. I don't call it the hot corner for nothing.
So we'll see if Torville tries to pull this one once again to that hot corner, Kyle, on this payoff pitch. Goes with the fastball on the outside corner, as Dwyer does not get the call from the home plate umpire Robert Huff. So the bases are loaded now with 2 outs. Big opportunity for the Lopes as Taylor Olson digs in, trying to drive in at least a couple. Very good sequence of pitches there from Maddie Dwyer, coming right at Savannah Torville with 4 consecutive fastballs on those 3-2 offerings, and of course a great eye, an impeccable pair of eyes from Savannah Torville, able to lay off that fastball on the outside corner. So here's Taylor Olson, fastball outside, called for a strike on the outer part, and the count moves to 0-1.
A really good at-bat from Savannah Torville, really worked that pitch count to her favor off of Maddie Dwyer. She was down 1-2 and then drew it back to 2-2 and then was able to foul off a couple of pitches and ultimately draw that full count walk to load the bases.
0-1 pitch cut on and missed. A healthy hack there from Taylor Olson as the count moves to 0-2. Was looking to put 4 runs on the board there with that swing.
What a way to open up your 2020 season right here with a grand slam on an 0-2 2-out count.
So we'll see what Dwyer goes with here. Ahead in the count, 0-2, has an opportunity to spoil some pitches here if she wants. Once again, trying to get a Lope hitter to chase the ladder with 2 strikes as the Lopes continue to lay off stuff out of the zone. Taylor Olson, of course, also coming off on a very impressive campaign last year. As again, just looking to drive in a couple. Single probably gives the Lopes a 2-run lead here in the first as the 1-2 pitch just off the plate again. Similar pitch to what we saw on that payoff pitch to Savannah Torville on that 3-2 offering, a fastball on the outside corner. Once again, Dwyer not getting the call from the home plate umpire.
Dixon working hard behind the plate for Stanford, trying to frame a couple of those pitches into Dwyer's favor, but unable to do so far.
2-2 offering from Dwyer. Did she go? No, she did not, said the first base umpire, Eric Jones. So once again, a very close pitch there from Dwyer, trying to get Taylor Olson to chase on the inner part of the plate as she holds up, and the count now moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So that'll start the merry-go-round for the first time here in 2020. 3-2 pitch, 2 outs, bases loaded. The payoff to Olson. Chopped to second, and Stanford's going to get out of the jam as Huff retires Olson for the 4-3 putout, and that'll do it here in the first. Lopes leave the bases loaded. Let's go to the second. No score between the Stanford Cardinal and the GCU Lopes. You're watching GCU softball right here on GCU TV.
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders, you're giving them the tools they need to succeed.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Top half of the second inning here in Phoenix, Arizona. No score between the Cardinal and the Lopes, and the Lopes with a golden opportunity to at least take the lead in the bottom half of that first inning. They leave the bases loaded with Maddie Dwyer able to get herself into and out of trouble, getting Taylor Olson to ground out to second as Sydney Huff recorded the 4-3 putout as Ryan Denhart goes back to work against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the order for Stanford. First pitch on the outside corner, called strike, count moves to 0-1, and it'll be the first baseman, Emily Schultz, digging in for Stanford. It'll be Schultz, Dixon, and Howell trying to get something going, as Stanford looks to get off on the right foot here with a big road win in this GCU kickoff tournament this weekend. As the 0-1 offering on the outside corner misses, count moves to 1-1. Denhart,
almost the
like
exact same spot right there on that pitch from Ryan Denhart.
Denhart has been in the zone. As we mentioned last year, an opponent batting average of .221. As the 1-1 offering to Schultz misses just a bit low as the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. We saw Denhart fall behind some hitters in that first inning, but she was able to work herself out of trouble, leaving 1 base runner stranded. As the 2-1 offering, poked in the air, fairly deep center. Going back is Nicoletti right in front of the warning track. She has it for the first out, so 1 batter, 1 out here for Denhart. Similar to the first inning, first batter lofts one in the air to center to Gianna Nicoletti, puts it away here in the second. As that'll bring up Dixon.
The catcher, number 12, Montana Dixon.
The senior out of Lakewood, Florida, Montana Dixon.
She batted .285 last year. She also played and started in all 53 games for Stanford. She had 39 hits and 137 at-bats, including 5 home runs, 10 doubles, and 27 RBI. She had a .496 slugging percentage. So Montana Dixon, very dangerous hitter back there, the sophomore catcher for Stanford.
As that one drops in there beautifully on the outside corner, count moves to 0-2. Ryan Denhart breaking out her off-speed stuff on Montana Dixon, as Dixon now falling behind quickly in this count. Trying to put the ball in play, trying to wait back and poke it the other way here. And Kaylee Dietrich playing close in at the bag at first base as the 0-2 offering from Denhart. Pitch up, count moves to 1-2. Again, up 0-2 in that count. Ryan Denhart has a couple of pitches she can spoil here, trying to get Dixon to chase. On-base percentage, like we mentioned, .415 for Dixon a year ago. Trying to get on base here with 2 strikes. She pokes that one in the air. Right center field. Coming in is Nicoletti with a diving grab. Gianna Nicoletti putting on a highlight reel here in inning number 2 with 2 putouts. 2 away here, nobody on, and Ryan Denhart surely going to appreciate that from her center fielder.
A little acknowledgement right there at the end from Ryan Denhart. Take another look at that one. That one right in between center and right field, and Gianna Nicoletti, she's got some speed out there. So she covers a lot of ground. She's already got 3 putouts on the evening, including both outs here in this second inning, as we'll get, looks like a little bit of a meeting between the umpires and Holland and Denhart there at the front of the circle.
Talking things over before they do battle against Hannah Howell, the left-hander, the senior, who hit .294 a year ago, slugging percentage of .353. Coach Allister talking things over with the third base umpire, Dale Wilson. Howell with with 48 total bases a year ago, as Stanford looking for their second base runner of the night. Denhart looking for her first 1-2-3 frame before going into the bottom of the second inning as the fastball misses. Count moves to 1-0. It'll be the bottom third of the order for the Lopes in the second. 7, 8, 9 with Lorianne Olson, Kaylee Dietrich, and Gianna Nicoletti trying to get things going, trying to give their starting pitcher, Ryan Denhart, some run support here on opening night. As Denhart gets the sign, it'll be a 1-0 offering, as it looks like Howell's going to call time.
Ryan Denhart, no stranger to going complete games. She had 9 complete games a season ago for this Lopes team.
That one misses outside. Count moves to 2 balls and no strikes, just a little bit off the plate.
Just got that bunt pulled back just in time was Howell.
And we've seen Denhart fall behind some of these hitters early, has been able to work herself out of trouble with some fastballs, as that one's going to be bunted down the first base line and foul by Howell. We saw Howell square around on the first pitch, trying to get something moving here with 2 outs, with her XO waiting on deck.
Looked like that one might have gotten her foot just right before it went foul. You saw the umpire stand right up and call that one dead just immediately after it made contact with Howell.
2-1 offering as Denhart looks to even up the count, as that one misses low and the count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. So we'll see how Howell goes about this next pitch. Up in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike, expecting the fastball from Denhart with nobody on. No home runs a year ago from Howell. She takes that pitch on the inside corner for strike 2, as Robert Huff breaking out the called 3rd strike punch-out call. 2 strikes there, Robert, as Howell digs in. Full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes, nobody on. We're in the top of the second inning, scoreless game between the Cardinal and the Lopes. Denhart looking for strikeout number 3, as that one's tapped, third base side. Olson has it, throws across the diamond for the putout. A 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Denhart as we move to the bottom half of the second inning. Lopes looking to get on the board. We're scoreless here on 90s night.
Get the best gear to show off your Lope pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. Use promo code GCUTV25 to get 25% off just for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple and Lopes up.
And again, that promo code is GCU25, all caps, for 25% off for being a GCU TV viewer as we get ready for the bottom half of the second inning. Again, it's going to be Lorianne Olson, Kaylee Dietrich, and Gianna Nicoletti trying to get something going against Maddie Dwyer, who got herself into a bit of a jam in the bottom of the first, loading the bases with 2 outs after back-to-back walks. Jaden Reed getting things started in that first inning with her first base hit of her collegiate career. 24 pitches total in that first inning for Maddie Dwyer as well, trying to get in and out of this inning as efficient as possible. Remember doing battle with Savannah Torville, 9 pitches in that at-bat total, going with the fastball in the outer part of the plate, just missing outside. We saw the same in that battle against Taylor Olson, moving the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes before getting Olson to roll that one over to second base.
And you know what, Jack? These Lopes batters all very patient when it comes to settling in and really driving up pitch counts, fouling balls off, really waiting for that pitch that they like, and then they hit it somewhere where a fielder isn't, and they, more likely than not, will end up on base.
That's a great analogy there, Kyle. As Olson looks to do just that, as it looks like Dwyer gets the sign from Dixon. First pitch fastball poked in the air, left side. That one's going to get out of play. Count quickly, no balls and 1 strike. Ryan Denhart's pitch count currently at 21. As the 0-1 offering from Dwyer cut on and missed, and she gets ahead in the count quickly. Now no balls and 2 strikes. So more of the same from what we saw from inning number 1. Of course, Dwyer getting herself into trouble, but doing an excellent job getting ahead of these Lopes hitters. Still looking for her first punch out as well. As the 0-2 offering to Olson. Fastball up, count moves to 1-2. Seems to be the same repetition early on for Dwyer, getting ahead of these Lopes hitters and trying to get them to chase upstairs with a fastball. But like you mentioned, Kyle, to your point, these Lopes hitters, again, using their eyes here, laying off those pitches outside the zone as the 1-2 offering from Dwyer. In the zone, outside corner, cut on and missed from Olson, and Olson will take a seat as there's quickly 1 away here in the bottom of the 2nd inning with Kaylee Dietrich digging in.
Second strikeout of the evening for Maddie Dwyer. Right there, Lorianne Olson. A nice at-bat, though, from Lorianne. Dietrich last season, Jack, batted .248 with 29 hits and a few home runs. She had 3 on the season, and she popped that one up deep down the left field line again.
Very loud strikes so
very
far
loud,
here in these first 2 innings.
Absolutely.
Saw Kaylee Holland lifting 2 foul balls down the left field line, making a case for her first home run of the season. Kaylee Dietrich doing the same. And Kaylee Dietrich, of course, with those 4 home runs a year ago, 18 runs batted in. As the 0-1 offering, cut on and missed. Dwyer fooling her with the off-speed. Way ahead of that one was Dietrich.
That was a great off-speed pitch from Dwyer right there.
We haven't seen too many of them, Kyle, so far in this game, breaking it out at the right time there with Dietrich expecting the fastball.
Sometimes that's the best time to throw that off-speed pitch, Jack, is when that batter's going to least expect it.
We'll see what she goes with on 0-2. Goes with the fastball outside, just a little bit low as the count moves to 1-2. And once again, Kaylee Dietrich not chasing anything outside the zone here early on in this game against Dwyer. Pitch count up to 28. As the 1-2 offering goes with the off-speed again in the dirt. The count levels up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And this is where Dwyer has really struggled, is when she gets ahead in the counts 0-2 or 1-2. Really struggles to find that strike zone to really get that punch out when she needs it most, and the Lopes have taken advantage of it with a few base runners and a couple of walks already here tonight.
Dietrich with 40 total bases a season ago, trying to get on base here in the 2nd. That one's bobbled. Throw to first in time to get Dietrich at first. So quick bobble there from Young. Able to regroup, throw it across the diamond to Schultz. And 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the 2nd as we saw Ryan Denhart pick up her first 1-2-3 inning, a half inning ago, as Maddie Dwyer looking to do the same, looking to match Denhart so far here tonight on opening night. And Gianna Nicoletti will dig in for the Lopes. A lot of speed from Gianna Nicoletti. Saw her mainly at the top of the order last season, a season ago, setting up Shea Smith batting 2nd in that order as that one's tapped foul in front of the plate. As Dixon all over that one, but it's called foul by the home plate umpire, and the count moves to 0-1 on Nicoletti. Gianna, of course, notoriously known for catching that final out, handing Florida State their first loss of the season a year ago as the Lopes took that game at home in a day-night doubleheader, the first of that doubleheader.
It was a very, very good competitive game all the way around from both those teams. The Lopes just came out on top and jumped on Florida State early, and then they were able to finish it off, close it down. Great job, Gianna Nicoletti, right there on the easy put out for that final out of that ball game.
And Nicoletti batting .226 a season ago, but we mentioned the total bases, 24 total bases, and we also mentioned the speed. As she's down 0-2. Able to tap that one foul straight back, staying alive.
Nicoletti 5 stolen bases a year ago. Was 5 of 6 on stolen base attempts. Only thrown out once, so good percentage from her. She's got some speed, and she if she gets a good one hit into the hole there at short or to third base, she might have a good chance to beat it out running down that first base line.
And you can see Inoue playing very in at the bag at third base as that 0-2 pitch. Chop it right to Inoue. She plays that one beautifully, throws it across the diamond for Schultz for a 1-2-3 inning for Maddie Dwyer. So Dwyer matches Ryan Denhart here in the second. We'll see what Denhart has in store on the top of the third. You're watching GCU softball right here on GCU TV.
We hope to see you there.
Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they drippin'. Ice. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin'.
Mountain Dew Ice, a clear, refreshing lemon lime dew.
Curiosity fuels you. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems, you're helping to build a better tomorrow. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Bossy, bossy. Just looking at my kids like I'm bossy. The while little S to the base, step London and mid on edges. Is it?
Back inside the GCU softball stadium, top of the third inning between the Lopes and the Stanford Cardinal, and Kyle will take a look at how the Lopes are going to be able to combat Maddie Dwyer and these Cardinal with tonight's Sanderson Ford, 3 keys to the game.
Well, Jack, the first key tonight, Savannah Torville. She got off to a pretty good start last season, and they would love to see her pick up where she left off at the end of last season. She did hit 10 home runs and batted very well for GCU all season long. The second key tonight is going to be pitching. Denhart's pitched well already here through the first 2 innings of play. She's got 2 strikeouts and 2 innings of work and no hits allowed so far and just the 1 walk. And the pitching staff all the way around from Lexi Coons to Bobo Aguilar and Yessie Morrison and the addition of Sydney Sahar. So the Lopes go very deep into the bullpen if they need it. And the third and final key is Jack, start strong. It's get the lead here tonight and then finish it out, close out the game, get the win, and go into tomorrow 1-0, ready for a doubleheader tomorrow afternoon.
And of course, the Lopes with a doubleheader tomorrow, Friday night, and a doubleheader on Saturday before they wrap things up on Sunday afternoon at 12:30. So a lot of softball here this weekend in this opening tournament as that one's in there just a bit low as the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. It'll be Alyssa Horexo digging in, 300 average a season ago, 11 runs batted in, 300 slugging percentage, as it will be Horexo, Jindelsberg, and Cowles. Cowles looking to get her second at-bat here tonight as that one drops in there just a bit inside, and the count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. So Ryan Denhart staying around the plate so far here tonight, not getting some of these calls from the home plate umpire Huff. Looking to avoid her first walk of the night. Excuse me, her second walk of the night. Sydney Huff reaching board, base on balls in that first inning as that pitch clips the outside corner and the count moves to 3-2. Denhart retiring the last 5 hitters in this Cardinal order. Gindelsberger waiting on deck, hit 167 a year ago as that one's poked straight back by Horexo, and we'll do it again at 3-2. Denhart's pitch count up to 35 pitches. She has 2 strikeouts, allowing that 1 walk to Huff like I mentioned in the first inning. Well, again, like Kyle mentioned, 9 complete game shutouts a season ago. As the payoff pitch taps slowly to third. Across the diamond for the 5-3 putout as Taylor Olson retires Horexo. Horexo now 0 for 1, 1 away here in the third. And that'll bring up Gindelsberger, again hitting 167 a year ago, 10 RBIs, 16 total bases, a 205 slugging percentage. Chandler, Arizona native, lays down the bunt down the third base line, but it's going to go out of play. Count quickly 0-1 for Denhart, and that's what Ryan Denhart's going to need to do here going forward, Kyle. You mentioned the strong start. She has had a strong start in this game, again retiring the last 6 hitters that Stanford's had to offer. Has had a tough time getting ahead of these hitters early as she gets ahead quickly here to Gindelsperger.
She batted just 167 a year ago with 13 hits.
As that one on the outside corner misses, count moves to 1-1. Reed playing down the line and left. Wide open hole in that left center field gap for Gindelsperger if she wants to poke one the other way, as that pitch misses just a bit outside. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike as Denhart again looking to level up the count here on 2-1. Denhart coming after these Cardinal hitters with a steady diet of fastballs early on. Olsen playing in at the bag at third base, Dietrich in at first. As a 2-1 offering, fastball tapped slowly on the ground, right side, and the count levels up at 2-2. So after falling behind 3-1 on Herexo, is able to level up the count, make it a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes before getting her to tap one slowly to Olsen at third. Now levels up the count after falling behind 2-1 on Gindelsperger, as she looks to retire her 7th straight Cardinal here in the 3rd inning. 2-2 offering. Fastball just misses off the plate as the count moves to 3-2. So back-to-back hitters for Stanford working the count full here against Denhart, moving that pitch count up to 42 here in the 3rd. Gindelsperger trying to get on here with Tegan Cowles waiting on deck. Cowles hitting one right on the nose in her first at-bat to Gianna Nicoletti in center as that one's tapped slowly on the ground right side once again, and we'll do it again here on 3-2. So despite no runs so far here early on in this one through the first 2 1/3 innings, both offenses doing a nice job working the pitch count of both Ryan Denhart and Maddie Dwyer. Lopes, of course, getting Dwyer to reach 24 pitches in that first inning before her first 1-2-3 inning of the night. An inning to go as that one's ripped into right field for a base hit. So Gindelsperger has her first hit of the season, first base runner for the Cardinals since that first inning. We got a runner on first base with 1 out as Denhart will now once again do battle for the 2nd time against Tegan Cowles. And a big opportunity here for Stanford with the speed, of course, from Gindelsperger. Like we mentioned, 7 stolen bases a year ago, and Cowles hitting .374 a year ago. 6 homers, 20 RBIs. As the first pitch, fastball, inside part of the plate, called strike, and the count moves to 0-1. And of course, Olsen will be playing in at the bag at third, looking for a ground ball double play opportunity here for Denhart. And Reed, of course, playing right in front of the warning track out there and left with the powerful hitting Cowles at the plate as that one misses just a bit outside. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Stanford still looking to get their first runner in scoring position tonight. Remember, Huff was able to work the count full and reach base with 1 out. Runner on first base in that first inning. Was not able to move past first base as that pitch misses outside. Count moves to 2-1 as Denhart falls behind Cowles. Mentioned the 6 homers, 20 runs batted in, a .592 slugging percentage as well. An excellent leadoff hitter for Coach Allister in this game as she ropes that one in the air to center right at Nicoletti for the 2nd out as Gindelsperger retreats back to first base. So back-to-back at-bats for Cowles, hitting it right on the nose, right at Gianna Nicoletti. Has nothing to show for it as she's now 0 for 2.
2nd time tonight, she's flown out to Nicoletti out there in center.
Now Sydney Huff will look to move Gindelsperger to at least 2nd base here, and again reach base with a walk, a 7-pitch battle against Denhart in that first inning. As a fastball misses low, count moves to 1-0. That pitch in there on the inside corner as the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be the top third of the order for the Lopes in the bottom half of the third inning, with Brooke Cantillo looking to pick up her first hit in the purple and white after lofting one to left field back in the first inning. Lopes would love to get to Maddie Dwyer after a 1-2-3 inning in the second inning. As a 1-1 fastball misses outside, count moves to 2-1. Sydney Huff, of course, reaching base in that first inning, trying to set things up for Young, who's waiting on deck. Would love to pass the baton to Young here in the third, putting runners on first and second. Considering Young's strong numbers from a year ago, as that fastball misses just outside, the count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. So what do you do here if you're Sydney Huff with a runner on first base, 3-1 pitch? You got to think she's taken here unless she finds her pitch right in her wheelhouse on 3-1.
Unless that one is over the heart of the plate or just barely off the heart of the plate, she will probably be taking this one.
That's a 3-1 offering. Taken for a called strike, throw down to second, not nearly in time to get Gindelsperger. We mentioned that speed, Kyle. Way ahead of that tag there from Savannah Torville. And Stanford has themselves a runner on second base here with 2 outs. So their first runner in scoring position tonight. We'll see what Denhart goes with here on the payoff pitch, arguably the most important pitch of this game so far, with the powerful hitting Young on deck. Again, Young hitting .284 a season ago with 3 homers. As the payoff pitch from Denhart. Ripped to first, but foul. As Dietrich scoops that one up. Going back to second is Gindelsperger. Gindelsperger already rounding third base on that last foul ball on the right side.
Going on the pitch with 2 outs.
So I think it's safe to say if Huff is able to find the grass out there, it will be 1-0 Stanford. She's able to get to Denhart here. And tremendous speed on second base from Gindelsperger. Looking to get a good jump off as the payoff pitch once again from Denhart is ripped down the right field side and foul once again. So we'll do it again here as Stanford continues to battle Denhart. Denhart up to 53 pitches tonight here through 2 2/3 innings. Emily Young driving in 18 runners a season ago. Would love to get an opportunity here to drive in at least a couple of more, as once again it looks like Dale Wilson going to talk things over with Robert Huff here. Seems like a door is open down the right field side. Stalling play for at least the moment. Seems like things are squared and ready to go as Huff will dig in once again. Top of the third inning, still scoreless here in Phoenix. Runner on second base, Ryan Denhart looking to deliver the 9th pitch of this at-bat to Sydney Huff. Goes with the fastball on the outside corner for a called strike 3. So Huff will take a seat. That'll do it here in the top half of the third inning as Denhart gets herself into and out of trouble. Let's move to the bottom of the third. Lopes looking to get to Maddie Dwyer here in Phoenix.
Grand Canyon University Arena is proud to host Elevate 2020 Music Festival back in Phoenix, Arizona for its 8th straight year. Join us this June for a great weekend of worship. Tickets are on sale now at gcuarena.com.
And of course, a great lineup that night for Elevate 2020. Chris Tomlin, Josh Baldwin, We the Kingdom, Mac Brock's going to be in the house as well, so get ready. That'll be on Sunday, June 28th. Excuse me, that'll be on Saturday, June 27th, 28th. You got the Casting Crows, the Afters, Johnny Diaz, a star-studded event for Elevate 2020 as we get ready here in the bottom half of the third inning. Of course, Maddie Dwyer looking to duplicate what she did an inning ago with that 1-2-3 inning as she sets to do battle once more with the top third of this Lopes order, starting with Brooke Cantillo. Again, looking for her first hit in the purple and white. As you take another look Ryan Denhart getting the called third strike there from the home plate umpire as she flips the outside corner on that 3-2 delivery to Huff. Huff now 0 for 1 with a walk in this game. Of course, Cantillo lifting that ball to left field in that first inning. Only put out in that outfield so far tonight for Stanford coming from Alyssa Horexo. As the first pitch from Dwyer, clips the outside corner, count quickly 0-1. Been the biggest difference so far here tonight for Maddie Dwyer, getting ahead of these Lopes hitters early on in the count. We've seen the same repetition, from Maddie Dwyer so far in this game, getting ahead of these Lopes hitters and trying to get them to chase the ladder. As that one's going to be poked out, left center field, and it's going to fall right in front of Gindelsberger for a base hit. So first base hit in her Lopes career for Brooke Cantillo. She's on first. A lot of speed over there on first as well for the Lopes, as Jaden Reed will look to get things going after picking up her first hit back in the first inning. We'll see what Coach Pearson puts in motion here with the speedy Cantillo on first base. First pitch misses low, count 1-0. Pitch, squares to bunt, bunts it straight back, and out of play as the count moves to 1-1. You mentioned the speed there from Cantillo. Almost rounding third there after that last bunt play, moves back to first base. We'll see if Reed squares to bunt once more here, trying to move the runner into scoring position for Kaylee Holland. Both Inoue and Schultz in at the bags at first and third as that one's cut on and missed. Dwyer gets Reed to chase the ladder there as the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now with 2 strikes, we'll see if Dwyer goes with the off speed, with Reed looking to slap one the other way. One-two pitch, cut on and missed. Gets Reed to chase out of the zone there. First time tonight we've really seen a Lopes hitter chase out of the strike zone. Is that fastball up and away? Reed will take a seat. There's one away here in the bottom of the third, and Kaylee Holland will look to move Cantillo into scoring position. We saw 2 very loud foul balls on the first 2 pitches. 2 fastballs coming from Dwyer to Holland in that first inning.
Struck out looking her first time up. So Kaylee Holland looking to take those big loud foul balls that she hit in the first inning and turn them into hitters 2 here for the Lopes.
Takes a fastball on the outside corner as the count moves to 1-0. And once again, the Lopes with a big opportunity, considering the depth that they have in this batting order, as that one's poked in the air to right field. Right there is Cowles, has a beat on it, puts it away, and they're quickly 2 away here in the bottom of the third. As the Lopes once again trying to take advantage of their leadoff base runner. Brooke Cantillo picking up her first hit. Mentioned the depth in this order with Holland, Bishop, and Torville in the heart of that order. Lily Bishop, of course, taking one off the elbow in that first inning. 0-2 fastball coming up and in from Dwyer, was able to reach first. That put the Lopes in business with runners on first and second with 2 away before Savannah Torville reached on a walk. 9-pitch battle with Dwyer as that one is fouled straight back. Healthy hack from Bishop to make this count 0-1. Mentioned 4 home runs a year ago for Lily Bishop. As the 0-1 pitch, off speed, ripped down the left field line, gonna stay fair in front of Horexo. Moving from first to third is Cantillo, but right on the money is Alyssa Horexo from left field. What a play from Stanford's left fielder for the final out of the inning. So the Lopes will strand one after the hit from Lily Bishop, but a tremendous play from Alyssa Horexo, able to gun down the runner at third base. So we're still scoreless here in Phoenix as we move to the top of the fourth between Stanford and GCU. You're watching GCU softball right here on GCU TV.
Why choose Sanderson Ford?
Straight up offers like these.
Now through President's Day, escape to a D-backs game and a new Escape for only $18,900. Lease one for only $259 a month. Save $10,000 on all 2019 F-150 Super Cruise. Get 2 Arizona Diamondback tickets just for coming in.
Plus, they support local sports.
And donate generously to local charities.
If it's important to you to do business with someone who supports our community,
choose Sanderson Ford.
Straight up.
When it came time to look for master's degrees, when I first learned about Grand Canyon, I think as teachers and coaches, you're never done learning. Being a mentor is one of the most important things in my life. For me, it's not always about winning, it's about instilling things in my students and my athletes that'll carry them on. And I'm confident to say that I wouldn't be the same teacher or coach that I am today without that experience at GCU. I'm Joseph, and I graduated with a master's degree online from GCU.
There's a thunder in all of us. Come find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Back here in the top half of the fourth inning, still scoreless between the Cardinal and the Lopes, and of course Alyssa Horexo showing off the gun in the bottom half of the third inning. Look at that play one more time, nailing Brooke Cantillo at third base for the final out. As we move to inning number 4, Ryan Denhart still on the mound, as we will hand the play-by-play duties over to Mr. Kyle Borg.
Thank you, Jack. As we get ready for this fourth inning of play, Emily Young, the shortstop, coming to bat for her second time here tonight as Ryan Denhart settles in for inning number 4 of work, and that first pitch will be outside for a ball.
And again, the same common theme so far here tonight for Ryan Denhart, just having a tough time getting ahead of these Cardinal hitters. Despite the success she's had in these first 3 innings, just has not been able to get ahead of these hitters early on.
Does have 3 strikeouts, though. Only allowed 1 hit so far through 3 innings of work, as that one also outside. So ball number 2, and the count will go to 2-0 here for the shortstop Young, who struck out looking in her first at-bat in the top of the first inning, excuse me. Umpire will say that one's just a little bit low and outside, so a 3-0 count coming for Emily Young, as Ryan Denhart still looking to pick up her first strike here in the 4th inning.
Definitely not what you want if you're Ryan Denhart behind the count 3-0 to the heart of this Stanford order with a new way waiting on deck.
That one right down the middle, so strike 1. It's a 3-1 count for Ryan Denhart, now looking to get the Lopes defense with 1 out early here to kind of calm things back down. Still no score between Stanford and GCU through 3 innings of work here at the GCU softball stadium on opening night. That pitch will be popped straight up. Going to leave the infield just to the shallow edge of the grass is Nicoletti for out number 1. So another fly out for Gianna Nicoletti, as she has had a great night so far, Jack. Pretty much got every single out for GCU here tonight. She's got 5 putouts here so far through 2 1/3 innings.
Would definitely say she's getting her work in tonight, Kyle, as Ryan Denhart surely going to appreciate that so far here tonight. Again, like you mentioned, 5 putouts so far. Denhart again looking to get that strikeout total up too. She's got 3 through the first 3 innings here tonight. And again, the heart of this order, that's a big out after falling behind 3 balls and no strikes to arguably the best hitter in this order for the Cardinal, and in Young hitting .284 a year ago. Again, if she gets on base, you got a New Way and Schultz to deal with, both hitting .300 over their campaign a season ago during the 2019 season as well. Would not have been good news for the purple and white.
So Inoue steps in for her second at bat. 1-1 count. That one will be popped up to second base. On the run is Lorianne Olson for out number 2.
That's a great play right there from Lorianne Olson. It didn't seem who was going to catch that ball between Savannah Torville and Lorianne Olson. Right behind the second base bag there, but Lorianne calling off her shortstop to make the putout, and just like that, again, a 3-0 count to start this inning to Young. Didn't look good for Ryan Denhart, but again, 2 up, 2 down, looking for her second 1-2-3 inning of the night.
Emily Schultz will step in her second at bat now. So 2 down for GCU and Ryan Denhart as that first pitch will be fouled off and in there. So strike number 1 in this at bat to Schultz. Schultz flew out to Nicoletti in her first at bat. That was the diving catch in the top of the second inning for Gianna Nicoletti as we get a little bit of a timeout now. Going to go to the Circle Hall and have a chat with Denhart coming into this second pitch. She's thrown 68 pitches, has Ryan Denhart so far, allowing 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk in 3 2/3 innings of work so far. Outside corner going to be called for strike number 2, so an 0-2 count quickly for Emily Schultz, the first baseman for Stanford.
And it's just what you want to see from Ryan Denhart again. After starting this inning a little bit cold with that 3-0 count to Young. Looking like she's going to get out of this frame in 1-2-3 fashion. We'll see if she goes with the off-speed pitch here on 0-2, looking to spoil some pitches.
Right at Lorianne Olson at second base, so another put out for the Lopes, and they will retire the side. Straight up, 3 up, 3 down for Ryan Denhart. No score through 3.5 innings of play. The Lopes and Savannah Torville coming to bat.
And the Lope Shop is proud to carry products from GCBC, the Grand Canyon Beverage Company. Enjoy this tasty line of coffee, tea, and energy drinks from GCU in the comfort of your own home. Now available at lopeshop.gcu.edu/GCBC. Just if you're interested in getting a mocha for me in between innings, Kyle.
I don't think I have enough time to run over to GCBC and get that
Just throwing
for you,
it out
Jack.
there. Just throwing it out there.
Hey, and you can use the GCU TV promo code GCUTV25,
I
get
could do it right on my
25%
laptop.
off.
I could do it right on my laptop. You're right.
Look at that. What do you like to get from GCBC, Jack?
I just mentioned just a light mocha.
Just
small,
a mocha?
Just a I'm pretty
just
basic.
a small one. A small mocha. All right. Noted.
Are you going to tell me what you like at GCBC?
No, kidding. Strawberry lemonade. I'm not a tea or coffee guy or energy drink, really. So I get the lemonade with some pumps of strawberry in there. It's very nice. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, and you can do it right from your laptop.
Well, you can't get the lemonade yet.
At lopeshop.gcu.edu/GCBC. So we'll see what, again, Maddie Dwyer, we see two 1-2-3 innings from Ryan Denhart in this game. Maddie Dwyer's been able to match her to this point as we move into the bottom of the 4th inning. But again, arguably the toughest hitter in this order, and gave Maddie Dwyer a run for her money in that first inning. A 9-pitch at bat to Savannah Torville. Was able to work the walk after laying off a fastball right on the outside corner. A very tough pitch to lay off of if you're Savannah, but was able to do just that. Impeccable pair of eyes so far here tonight from the Lopes offense.
First pitch to Torville from Dwyer on the way. That's going to be low for ball number 1. And just when you thought you'd see Savannah Torville with 2 runners on the corners and 2 outs, a great throw from the outfield got Olson coming into third base, or excuse me, got Cantillo coming into third base for that 3rd and final out of the 3rd inning for the Lopes, as that one also low and inside for ball number 2 to Savannah Torville.
Just what you want here if you're Savannah Torville. We've seen Dwyer come after these Lopes hitters with her fastball early on in this game. Would love to see a 2-0 fastball right here over the heart of the plate.
That one same spot, low and inside, so a 3-0 count for Savannah Torville to lead off the bottom half of the 4th inning for the Lopes. Torville still looking for hit number 1 of the season. As you mentioned, walked in that first inning, Jack. That's had 6 Lopes batters sent to the plate. That one in there for strike number 1, so a 3-1 count. The Lopes loaded the bases in the first inning, but haven't really been able to get anything going since then, and has really held Stanford in check to just 1 hit so far on the evening. It's Maddie Dwyer settles in. It's a 3-1 count to Torville. That one will be driven down the left field line, but well foul, and the count will go full at 3-2.
And talk about matching Ryan Denhart so far in this game, as Denhart was able to fall behind Young in that top half of the 4th inning, down in the count 3-0, as Dwyer falling behind in the count 3-0 now to Torville, able to battle back here. We'll see what she goes with on the payoff pitch.
3-2 fouled straight back into the screen, so the count will remain full at 3-2. And just like her first at-bat, Savannah Torville, another long at-bat here, going with pitch number 7 so far in this AB for Torville.
47 pitches total for Dwyer, 16 of them so far to Savannah Torville.
Payoff pitch will be low and away, and another walk for Savannah Torville to lead off the 4th inning for GCU.
And that was a similar fastball that we saw in that first inning on the payoff pitch to Savannah Torville. So once again, laying off that fastball on the outer part of the plate. Setting things up here nicely now for the Lopes with a leadoff base runner. Picking up her second walk, Taylor Olson, who mentioned had that bases loaded opportunity in the first inning. Chopped one to second base, as it looks like we're going to see our first pinch runner of the night here for the Lopes. Coach Pearson making the substitution here with Robert Huff.
Pinch running for GCU, now at first base, number 14, Rachel Hammonds.
Number 14, Rachel Hammonds will come in to pinch run for Savannah Torville at first base, as Coach Pearson trying to get some offense rolling, as Taylor Olson will come up for her second at-bat of the evening. First pitch, Olson squares to bunt. She will bunt, gonna throw down to second in time, throw on to first, not in time. They're gonna say she was off the bag. Emily Schultz couldn't keep her foot on. Or that was the second baseman, Huff, covering first base, as Schultz came charging in to field that ground ball, or that bunt attempt from Taylor Olson. So a fielder's choice will get the out at second base. So one down, Olson on first base now.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Christina Neway was prepared for that bunt right there, all over that one. Had no hesitation throwing that one all the way across her body to second base to pick up the forced play.
That one will be fouled out, or off the screen for Lorianne Olson. And the count will go to 0-1. Olson struck out in her first at-bat tonight, one of the 3 strikeouts for Dwyer on the evening. Dwyer digs in, ready for the 0-1. One out for the Lopes here, as Olson will foul that one also back into the screen, and the count will go to 0-2 on the first 2 pitches of this at-bat.
Of course, Dwyer getting Olson to chase that fastball in the outer part of the plate in the second inning, doing her homework in this at-bat, quickly getting ahead of her once again. Wouldn't be shocked to see the fastball up and away here on 0-2.
That one just a bit too high. Good call, Jack.
Thank you.
Called that fastball, but up and away, so the first ball of the at-bat will move the count to 1-2 with one down here to Lorianne Olson, with Taylor Olson standing on first base for the Lopes, after Rachel Hammonds was thrown out at second on that bunt attempt by Olson. 1-2 way upstairs, and that will even out the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you got to give credit to where credit's due right there. Montana Dixon with the snag. If that one goes to the backstop, Lopes have themselves a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs with the bottom third of this order, with Kaylee Dietrich, who's been phenomenal at putting the ball in play for the Lopes. Would have been a big opportunity there offensively.
2-2, they're going to ring her up looking, so called strike 3 by the home plate umpire will move it to 2 outs for the Lopes. So a backwards K given to Maddie Dwyer. She's got 4 strikeouts already on the evening, as Kaylee Dietrich will settle in with 2 down for the Lopes here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Looking to get some offense on the board. Neither team has scored. Still 0-0 here at the GCU Softball Stadium on opening night. First pitch gonna just hit the bottom half of that strike zone for strike number 1 to Kaylee Dietrich.
And again, despite not putting any runs on the board to this point, the Lopes are driving up that pitch count for Maddie Dwyer, as a right-hander currently warming up in the bullpen for Stanford. So we'll see if Kaylee Dietrich can at least work the count here and again pass that baton to Gianna Nicoletti, who again is also great at putting the ball in play for the Lopes offensively.
So that last pitch just a little bit low and inside. So 1-1 is the count as Dwyer will once again get the pitch call from Dixon. She'll deliver. That one fouled straight back by Dietrich. 1-2 is the count with 2 away as Dwyer will look to get out of this inning without giving up any runs or any more hits to this Lopes offense. One-two pitch will be fouled off into that bullpen area down the first base line, and the count will remain 1-2.
Again, if anything here with Maddie Dwyer driving that pitch count up to 60, this next pitch will be her 60th pitch against Kaylee Dietrich. Again, just trying to put something in motion.
Dietrich rips that one, but well foul. So another hard hit foul ball from GCU, and the count will remain at 1-2. And that's the second time Dietrich's done it tonight.
Just trying to straighten it out next time, as we've seen about 3 or 4, like you said, down that left field line. Just again,
seems like they're due for one.
A little too early. See if they can wait back on this fastball.
That one going to be off speed, upstairs, throw down to first. Not going to get the tag down. And the count will even itself out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away for GCU with Olsen standing on first base. And Kaylee Dietrich digging in for yet another pitch here from Maddie Dwyer. So Dwyer over the 60 pitch count threshold now. That one will be grounded to third base. That one thrown on to first, and Emily Schultz will put it away for out number 3. So just the one hit for GCU in the bottom of the 4th inning, and nobody scores. We still have a tied scoreless ball game here at the GCU softball stadium, 0-0. The top half of the 5th inning coming up right here on GCU TV.
And now, fans, it's time to get on your feet and make some noise.
So one key component that makes the Waste Management Phoenix Open so successful is Cox Business. Over 700,000 people are going to come enjoy TPC Scottsdale, from digital TV to digital phones to security, and most importantly, that free Wi-Fi all over this property. We simply couldn't do it without a partner like Cox Business. We're grateful, we're thankful, it's a hole-in-one.
Well, we are back inside the GCU softball stadium as Denhart gets set for inning number 5 of work here on opening weekend for GCU, here to kick off the GCU kickoff tournament. She's thrown 71 pitches with 1 hit allowed, 3 strikeouts and a walk so far on the evening. As Montana Dixon, the catcher, will settle in to lead things off for Stanford. First pitch from Denhart's going to be driven through the middle of that left half of the infield, and Dixon's going to get on with the first pitch. Single.
Well, I think Ryan Denhart was trying to outsmart Montana Dixon there with the first pitch off speed over the heart of the plate, but Dixon all over that one. Waiting back, it looks like we'll get a pinch hitter, or a pinch runner, excuse me, for Stanford's catcher over there at first base. Trying to put a little bit more speed on the base paths, trying to, again, wreak havoc over there here in the top of the 5th inning. And if you're a fan of pitching, it's been a splendid opening night here in Phoenix between Denhart and Dwyer, matching zeros, matching goose eggs through the first 4 innings of play. But then again, of course, if you're into offense, into the home run ball, I apologize so far. But again, great pitching on both sides, as that one's going to be in there for a called strike, count 0-1. And of course, Ryan Denhart, we saw her get into and out of trouble in the 1st and 3rd innings. second and fourth innings, we saw 1, 2, 3 frames as Howell digs in. Would love to get a ground ball double play here. We have yet to see one of those tonight on either side.
Almost had a couple for Stanford as she'll square to bunt, pop it up. Denhart's there. She'll make the catch. And getting back to first base is number 10, the pinch runner, Hannah Madison. So one away here for the Lopes in the top half of the fifth inning. Stanford looking to get on the board. They have a runner on first base as Horeshko will dig in for at-bat number 2. She grounded out to Olsen in her first at-bat tonight, so Horeshko digs in, and Denhart delivers. That one ripped but foul, and the count will go 0-1 to Horeshko.
And again, that's what you want to do if you're Ryan Denhart right now, just trying to get every hitter possible here with a speedy runner over there at first base with Stanford, desperately trying to get a runner in scoring position. Again, only one runner in scoring position tonight for the Cardinal. Of course, Tegan Cowles, that leadoff hitter for the Cardinal, looming in the hole as of right now, as it looks like we're going to see one more Gianna Nicoletti put out tonight, Kyle.
And another one for Gianna Nicoletti. Had to move a little bit more for that one. Hasn't had to move a whole lot tonight. So Nicoletti will get out number 2 for the Lopes. As one out away now is GCU from getting back to the plate, looking to get some offense going. So still no score, 0-0 through 4 2/3 innings, as Madison still standing there on first base as Denhart gets set to deliver. That'll be ripped right back at Torville at short, and she will step on second base for out number 3. So just the one hit for Stanford in the top of the 5th. No runs, no walks, one left aboard, and the Lopes are coming to bat with Gianna Nicoletti, and then they'll turn it over to the top of the order.
Effington Theater presents a modern take on the Shakespearean classic The Tempest. Filled with explosive drama and vengeance, this sinister play centers around a magical storm which leaves passengers shipwrecked on a tropical island. Get your tickets now at the Effington Theater box office. And that kicks off tomorrow night.
Students get in free with their valid GCU ID. That is one scary graphic right there.
I'm free tomorrow.
Some lightning.
May have to go check that out at the Effington Theater. I know you'll be on the call tomorrow. Softball doubleheader.
It is the 65th anniversary. So as Nicoletti gets set to come to the plate here, Stanford going to huddle up there just at the outside edge of the circle as Maddie Dwyer gets set for inning number 5 of work. She's allowed 3 hits, struck out 4 while giving up 3 walks.
And this is a very important batter in this game for both Stanford and the Lopes, Kyle. Maddie Dwyer, of course, wanting to set the tone early on, getting the first out here in the first batter. But if Gianna Nicoletti can find a way to get on base here, we've mentioned her speed all night long, setting things up for the top of the order with Cantillo and Reed waiting on deck and in the hole. So that one's foul. Yeah, we mentioned the speed. Nicoletti almost beating that one out. But if she can get on base here, it would set things up beautifully for both Cantillo and Reed, who already have themselves a pair of hits respectively so far here tonight. Cantillo 1 for 2, Reed 1 for 2. And then, of course, we mentioned the heart of that order with Holland, Bishop, and Torville. With that speed over there on first base, Nicoletti could cause problems for both Dwyer and Dixon behind home plate. Again, trying to slap one the other way. But, of course, this is just what Maddie Dwyer wants here to start things out in this bottom half of the 5th inning. You know that Gianna Nicoletti wants to set things up offensively for the Lopes. But, of course, Dwyer getting that big first out, putting things in her favor.
As Nicoletti will step out, call time, and get ready to go. So Nicoletti going to be called out on the batter's interference as Cantillo rips that one foul. down the first base line. So 0-1 to Brooke Cantillo. She got a single in the top of the third, but then was thrown out at third base, trying to get to that, put runners on the corners for Savannah Torville after the Lily Bishop single. So the Lopes with one away, and now the top of the order here in the 5th inning. Oh-1 going to be up high for ball number 1, and the count is now even. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brooke Cantillo. Looking to get the Lopes going now with another hit for her. She's 1 for 2 so far on the evening, as the corners will step in once again for Stanford. Cantillo, hard ground ball to third, throw on to first, well in time for out number 2 for GCU. So Stanford 1 out away from getting to the top of the 6th inning, once again scoreless.
Ryan Denhart getting a lot of help from her center fielder, Gianna Nicoletti, tonight. Maddie Dwyer getting a lot of help from her third baseman, manning the hot corner, Christina Niue. It's now 6 putouts for the third baseman.
So a lot of work done by 2 players so far, 1 for each team, as Reed steps in, and she is going to get drilled right in the back. And Jaden Reed will head on over to first base.
Well, it's definitely not going to feel good on this cold night, but a blessing in disguise there for the Lopes. Desperately looking for a base runner here against Maddie Dwyer. They get it there with that fastball, running just a tad bit inside. And that'll again pass the baton to Kaylee Holland, giving her an at-bat here with a runner on base. The Lopes again would love to get ahead in this game. It's been a pitching duel between Dwyer and Denhart. And again, with the heart of this order, with Holland, Bishop, and Torville at 3, 4, and 5. I'd love to get something going here, put a couple of runners on base, looking for the big blow late in this game.
First pitch to Holland, outside, ball number 1. So Kaylee Holland 1 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a fly out to right field. So Holland looking to get something going. And Jack, you mentioned the heart of the order, Holland, Bishop, Torville. They could blow this game wide open in a hurry if they can string a couple of hits together and get some runs across the plate, as the second pitch to Holland will be fouled straight back. She was right on that one, just a little bit late and underneath, and she'll foul it straight back, and the count will go 1-1.
A 1-0 fastball, expecting the fastball, getting it on the inner half of the plate. Maybe if she was a tad bit early getting around on that one, could have seen a runner put in motion there over that first base, and Jaden Reed trying to go from first to third. Again, another big pitch here coming from Dwyer, trying to get ahead of this Lopes hitter.
1-1, going to be flown out to center field. Coming in on it is Gindesberger, and that will retire the side for Stanford. So a 1-2-3 inning, or a almost 1-2-3 inning after the hit by pitch. So 1 stranded for the Lopes. Still no score. We'll go to the 6th inning when we come back right here on GCU TV.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
USAA. Get your insurance quote today.
We are back inside the GCU softball stadium for inning number 6 to kick off this season here at the GCU kickoff tournament. Still no score between the visiting Stanford Cardinal and the Grand Canyon University Lopes. If you're just joining us, I'm Kyle Borg alongside Jack O'Hara. And Jack, both sides have gotten a few base runners. The Lopes have left 6 on base. Stanford has left 3, but no side has gotten a runner past second base.
Well, I mentioned before, I'll mention it again. If you're a fan of pitching, it has been a splendid opening night between the Lopes and the Cardinal. If you're into offense, you really haven't seen much of that so far here tonight, but both offenses, despite not putting up any runs in this game, have done a tremendous job driving up the pitch counts, respectively, for both Ryan Denhart and Maddie Dwyer in this game as Denhart delivers her 78th pitch of the night. We've seen a couple of right-handers warming up in that bullpen for Stanford. Nobody for the Lopes at the moment as things start to stir in that bullpen, just as I open my mouth.
First pitch into Cowles will be a strike. And 0-1 for Denhart. Just inside, almost got a piece of Tegan Cowles right there, but the count will go to 1-1. And 0 for 2 so far is the right fielder for Stanford. Both flyouts to Gianna Nicoletti.
Again, hitting those right on the nose, too, as she looks to find the outfield grass in this 6th inning in a big way. She's got a ton of speed, a ton of power as well. You might see it right here.
That one popped high into the air. Going to be caught by Nicoletti.
Looked
like it might have enough. But it will stay on the infield grass. Just a few steps in front of that warning track was Nicoletti as she reels it in for out number 1. And Jack, like you mentioned, the trifecta right there. 3 flyouts, 3 putouts to Gianna Nicoletti via the bat of Tegan Cowles.
Yeah, we saw her again hit it right on the screws in those first 2 plate appearances. Getting a little arc on that one, putting that one high in the air right in front of the warning track, giving Ryan Denhart and this Lopes crowd a little bit of a scare, but of course Gianna Nicoletti right there for her 7th putout of the night. Again, Denhart, we saw her record 1-2-3 frame in the 2nd, 1-2-3 frame in the 4th, trying to keep that trend going here in the 6th inning, trying to retire both Huff and Young here in order before, again, the heart of that Lopes order in the bottom half of the 6th inning, Lily Bishop, Savannah Torville, and Taylor Olson trying to get something going.
So that one will be popped up into foul territory. No one's going to get there. And that one will go for strike number 2 to Sydney Huff, the second baseman, who is 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout and a walk. So it looks like this one might be decided by 1 run, which is all you need here at this point, Jack. And we'll see who's going to strike first. Will it be Stanford or will it be the Lopes? As the 0-2 pitch from Ryan Denhart gets set to be delivered. That one up high for ball number 1.
Denhart taking a page out of Maddie Dwyer's book there. Getting ahead in the count, 0-2. A couple of pitches to spoil in this at-bat. Doesn't have to go right after Sydney Huff here. Again, already 0 for 1 with that walk in that first inning. Has an opportunity here to try and get Sydney to chase a couple of fastballs outside the zone.
Huff will ground that one out to Dietrich over there at first base. She'll take it herself for out number 2. So Emily Young, the shortstop, will come to bat now for Stanford with 2 outs. Young 0 for 2 so far tonight with a strikeout and a flyout to Gianna Nicoletti.
Again, 3-hitter in this order. Doesn't have a ton of power. So Ryan Denhart could go after Young here. I mentioned 3 home runs, driving in 18 runs batted in last year, but obviously one of the more respected hitters on this team, knows how to put the ball in play. She does right there.
That one going to be close play at first base, but Ryan Denhart does a good job to cover her position and get the throw onto Dietrich at first for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Denhart in the 6th. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, see if the Lopes can strike with Bishop, Torville, and Taylor Olson.
Well, Kyle, if you're like the Stanford Cardinal and you're visiting Grand Canyon University this spring, why not stay at the GCU Hotel, featuring comfortable rooms, or a resort-style pool, and the Canyon 49 Grill. It's the perfect place to stay when coming to GCU. Book a room today at gcuhotel.com. Bottom half of the 6th inning, Maddie Dwyer back out there on the mound. Something's got to give between these 2 offenses. I mean, Ryan Denhart and Maddie Dwyer, it is opening night. Ace versus ace. Would expect nothing less from both these right-handers.
As we'll get to that last replay of that put out by Ryan Denhart that retired the side. 1-2-3 in order there in the 6th inning for Stanford, as you saw right there.
Bang play at first base.
Was very close. Denhart does a good job to field that one. Denhart has had a very nice 2020 debut for GCU, as has Maddie Dwyer for Stanford. A few more walks, well, 2 walks and 2 hit by pitches for Dwyer so far on the evening, has struck out 4 as well, had given up 3 hits and pitched 5 full innings as she gets set for inning number 6 of work. So Lily Bishop, who is 1 for 1, she took one of those hit by pitches in the first inning to load the bases for GCU.
And again, she's been cruising so far in this game, but Maddie Dwyer cannot be on cruise control in this part of the order. 4-5-6 for the Lopes. One swing of the bat changes everything in this game.
First pitch outside corner called strike number 1. So Lily Bishop, who is the designated player tonight for GCU. The 76th pitch for Maddie Dwyer. And she will deliver the 0-1, fouled straight back. Going to go to 0-2 quickly on Lily Bishop. That one seemed to jam her a little bit inside. And now a pitcher's count for Dwyer and Stanford to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning.
And again, it's been the name of the game so far for Maddie Dwyer, just getting ahead of every Lopes hitter that she's faced so far here tonight, at least the majority to this point. And again, has a pitch to spoil there, trying to get Bishop to chase there with the fastball way outside. And again, all it takes is one swing for this Lopes offense right now. Lily Bishop, 4 home runs a year ago. Savannah Torville as well. Tremendous power from the right side, and of course Taylor Olson as well. If you're the Lopes, bottom of the 6th inning, no score, this is the part of the order you want up against this nasty right-hander.
Absolutely, as that one will also be fouled. Count will remain at 1-2, and if you're Stanford, you don't want to put Bishop on with Torville coming right behind her, especially this late in the game with just a minimum of an inning left now, Jack. As they do play 7 here in softball, we could go to extras if still tied at 0 if the Lopes cannot bring one around here in the bottom of the 6th or the 7th. As the 1-2 to Bishop. Up high, going to even out the count, 2-2.
And again, despite being up in the count 0-2, you can tell Maddie Dwyer being very careful with Ryan Denhart, trying to get her to chase that fastball in the outside corner, way outside corner on 0-2, and then of course on 1-2 goes with the fastball up and in, doesn't get Bishop to bite, but on 2-2 gets her to roll into second.
Be grounded out and on to Schultz at first, so Huff puts Bishop away for the first out of the 6th inning for Stanford.
And that's a great pitch right there from Dwyer. 2-2 pitch, goes with the fastball in. If Lily Bishop is able to turn on that one quickly, it could be a 1-0 lead for the Lopes. Goes just a little bit behind it as she jams it on the inner part of the bat, rolls it over to second base for the first out. So a great pitch from Dwyer, and now it's going to have to do battle once again with someone who has given her trouble so far here tonight in Savannah Torville.
Pitch going to be low, fouled off by Torville for the first strike of this at-bat to Torville. She has 2 walks in this ball game, Jack. So looking for her first official AB of the night. And what a time to get something going for GCU as Torville looking to put one on the board. That off-speed pitch going to be up high for ball number 1, and the count is now even.
And Maddie Dwyer very lucky that that one stayed up, as Savannah Torville not biting on that pitch. That one's just a little bit lower in the zone. That's an easy one for Savannah Torville to jump all over. Goes with the fastball right after that pitch. Great pitch sequence there from Maddie Dwyer. Goes with the fastball for a strike to get ahead in the count, then goes with that off-speed pitch. Again, may have been a mistake, but Savannah Torville laying off, and then goes with the fastball in the inner part of the plate as it looks like the pitching coach wants to talk things over. We mentioned that pitch count here tonight. 81 pitches so far for Maddie Dwyer. Despite that success in this game, you mentioned 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's only allowed 3 hits, but another right-hander warming up in that bullpen for Stanford.
So just a quick visit there by Coach Allister of Stanford. So 2-1 is the count to Savannah Torville. Both of these teams a year ago won 33 games. So each of them both looking to get win number 1 on the season. That pitch to Torville is going to be popped up and playable by Dixon. And that will be out number 2 as Torville pops it up into foul territory. And Montana Dixon able to retire Savannah Torville easily there, as Taylor Olson will step in. She's 0 for 2.
Well, the common theme in this inning is Maddie Dwyer coming inside on these Lopes powerful right-handed bats, not trying to cheat them at all, or at least not trying to get those Lopes hitters to cheat on Maddie Dwyer at all on that inside fastball, being a little bit late on the right side of the plate are the Lopes, as you saw with the bouncer to second base from Bishop, and then that pop up to the catcher from Savannah Torville. Going with the same steady diet of fastballs inside here to Taylor Olson.
That one outside, ball number 1.
Again, as soon as I open my mouth, Maddie Dwyer mixing things up, goes with the fastball on the outside part of the plate on 1-1. We haven't seen, again, too many good off-speed pitches so far here tonight from Maddie Dwyer. I keep touching on the one to Lily Bishop to start the inning as she goes with the fastball over the heart of the plate. That may have been a mistake there from Dwyer, but Taylor Olson getting just underneath it, fouling it straight back.
She was right on top of that fastball, but fouls it off. So 1-2 with 2 outs to Taylor Olson, looking to get something going for the Lopes with a little 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 6th. As Dwyer just looking to get out of this one and get back to the top half of the 7th inning. 1-2 on the way. Olson grounded to second base onto Schultz at first. Is going to be in time. Great play at second base by Huff. And that will retire the side. So another 3-up, 3-down inning for the Lopes. Still no score. We go to the possible final inning of this one when we come back right here on GCU TV.
One more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
Across the great desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
Well, we are back inside the GCU softball stadium for the 7th inning of play between Stanford and Grand Canyon. Still scoreless, and for the 7th inning of play, let's throw it back on over to Jack O'Hara for the play-by-play duties.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kyle Bork. Top half of the 7th inning. Something's got to give between these two offenses as that first pitch is rolled softly on the first base side. Count quickly 0-1, 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Stanford Cardinals, starting with Christina Inoue, who's 0 for 2 in 2 plate appearances against Ryan Denhart in this game. Pitch count up to 86, has herself 3 strikeouts, matching Maddie Dwyer perfectly so far. She also has 3 strikeouts, over 80 pitches as well. 2 hits allowed by Ryan Denhart in this game as that pitch is ripped up the middle. Played there by Torville on to first.
Another
for
great
the 6-3
play.
put out. And again, like you just mentioned, Kyle, a tremendous put out there from Savannah Torville, able to set her feet and fire across the diamond for the first out. And again, great speed there from Inoue.
Tough hop. Denhart gobbled that one up perfectly, ranging over to right behind that second base. So took a weird hop right behind it, but Savannah Torville able to gather herself and fire a dart to first base for out number 1.
First pitch outside to Schultz, count 1-0. And again, the power bats in this order for Stanford against Ryan Denhart in this 7th inning between this pitching duel between Denhart and Dwyer. 25 RBIs a season ago from Schultz with 3 home runs. Hitting over 300, 304 to be exact, as the 1-0 pitch. lofted softly over the Lopes dugout, out of play into the stands. A lucky souvenir for one of these fans in the GCU softball stadium as the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. Montana Dixon has one of those 2 hits against Ryan Denhart. She waits on deck, taking advantage of a first pitch off speed pitch in that 4th inning against Ryan Denhart. As the 1-1 offering, fastball misses low and away. Count moves to 2-1. And again, in this 7th inning, 1 base runner can put the pressure on for either side in this game with very little room for error. Both trying to pick up the opening night win, trying to start their seasons off on the right foot. Two-1 offering from Denhart. Goes with the fastball up and in, and she falls behind 3-1 to Schultz. Not where you want to be. Still nobody on base, but now you don't want to give in here to Schultz on 3-1, but at the same time, you got to make that perfect pitch. As Schultz awaits the fastball, looking to get something in on the inner part of the plate, right in her wheelhouse. 3-1 pitch, goes with the fastball away, just misses outside, and the Stanford Cardinal have themselves a 7th inning base runner with 1 away here in Phoenix, trying to get something going with Montana Dixon. We mentioned that 1 hit coming in the 5th inning, taking advantage of a first pitch off speed pitch to start that frame. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Allister puts on here with Schultz on first base, trying to be aggressive in this 7th inning. You mentioned only 1 base runner in scoring position for the Cardinal all night long against Denhart. Would not be shocked to see them be aggressive here with 1 out. Pitch ripped in the air to center field. Right there is Nicoletti. Gianna Nicoletti once again put out number 8 for Gianna Nicoletti. And there are 2 away here in the 7th as Denhart 1 out away from completing 7 shutout innings of work here on opening night.
So it looks like we got action in both bullpens now. So possibly winding down Denhart and Dwyer's nights as Hannah Howell steps in for another at-bat.
So we'll see how Denhart deals with Howell here. First pitch fastball on the outside corner. Count moves to 0-1.
And Howell 0 for 2 so far on the evening.
And if you're wondering about the speed of Emily Schultz, just 1 for 2 in stolen base opportunities a year ago, so not a ton of speed. Trying to get a good jump here with 2 outs. Anything in the gap, Stanford could potentially take a 1-0 lead here. Howell still trying to figure out Ryan Denhart, like you mentioned, 0 for 2 here tonight. As the 1-1 pitch on the outside corner, misses low. Count moves to 2-1. So despite falling behind many hitters so far here tonight, Ryan Denhart's been phenomenal, not allowing a single run on 2 hits, only leaving 3 base runners stranded on the night for the Cardinal. Alyssa Horexo looking to get in that bat, also still trying to figure out Ryan Denhart in this game, 0 for 2 in her own right. As that pitch chopped to first, Dietrich has it on a bounce, steps on the bag for the final out, and Ryan Denhart has completed 7 shutout innings of work here on opening night. She may not be finished though. The Lopes trying to get the job done in the bottom half of the 7th inning here in Phoenix. Something's got to give, like I said, between these 2 offenses as we're all knotted up at 0 heading to the bottom of the 7th.
Well, Jack, we could be winding this one down, but we're far from winding down the GCU kickoff tournament, so be sure to tune in all weekend long right here on GCU TV, as tomorrow, starting at 11:30 a.m., you can see Weber State take on the University of New Mexico, followed by Stanford in New Mexico, and then right back here at 4:30, the Lopes take on game 1 of their doubleheader against Weber State, and then they'll finish up the night tomorrow with Stanford yet again. And then Saturday and Sunday, more softball action between these 4 teams.
And again, the Lopes looking to get off on the right foot before back-to-back doubleheaders, both tomorrow and Saturday. Again, these 2 teams will again face off tomorrow night as well at 6:30, like you just mentioned, after the Lopes take on Weber State at 4:30. The Lopes, unfortunately, not getting to see any other arms tonight thus far. It's been all Maddie Dwyer 6 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. She's about to throw her 90th pitch to start inning number 7. Lopes looking to end this one on a walk-off here in front of their home crowd here on 90s night, opening night. It'll be Lorianne Olson digging in. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts so far here tonight against Dwyer. Struck out swinging in the second, struck out looking in the fourth. First pitch misses outside, count moves to 1-0, and we mentioned the great pair of eyes from this Lopes offense so far here tonight, Kyle. Going to be extra careful here, chasing anything out of the zone against Dwyer, looking to put a runner on. It'll be Olson, Dietrich, and Nicoletti if anybody gets on. Brooke Cantillo will get another chance here against Dwyer. As that one slapped to third, right there is a new way, throws across the diamond, gets the speedy Olson as 2 pitches and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning as Dwyer looks to match Denhart once again. And Kaylee Dietrich will now dig in for the Lopes. Also 0 for 2 in this game. Only 3 hits so far here tonight have come from Brooke Cantillo, Jaden Reed, and Lily Bishop in this game.
Dietrich has crushed a couple of balls foul so far. See if she can straighten one out and get on base.
Takes that one low in the dirt, 1-0. Dietrich does have some pop too. Can end this one with 1 swing. And the Lopes just looking to put a runner on with 1 out against Dwyer, who has matched Ryan Denhart to a T so far here tonight. Denhart only allowing 2 hits, Dwyer allowing 3 hits. As that one's poked in the air, left center field, it's gonna fall. The Lopes have themselves a base runner here in the bottom of the 7th as Kaylee Dietrich cracks the code. That is Maddie Dwyer picking up her first hit of the season. She's now 1 for 3. And that'll bring up Gianna Nicoletti trying to move a runner into scoring position. And we'll see what Coach Pearson wants to do here with 1 out and a runner on first base. Nicoletti already 0 for 2 against Dwyer. Would not be shocked to see a pinch hitter here as she talks things over with the home plate umpire, Robert Huff. Looks like we're gonna see a pinch runner.
Crowd coming to life now, right behind that Lopes dugout.
Have been waiting to jump out of their seats all night long. We mentioned in past sports, women's basketball, men's and women's volleyball, if you get the havocs going in the stands, it gets very difficult for an opponent.
So Coach Pearson's daughter now on first base for GCU, Jordan Pearson, going to check in as that pinch runner like you mentioned, Jack, for Kaylee Dietrich.
So Jordan Pearson looking to play a big factor, trying to be that X factor for the Lopes so far here in the bottom of the 7th, that she makes her first collegiate appearance ever here in the purple and white inside the GCU softball stadium. Another mound visit from the pitching coach. A very intense moment in this game with a runner on first base and 1 out. Lopes looking for the walk-off win on opening night. Olivia Zufelt digging in as the pinch hitter for Nicoletti. Rips that one up the middle, off the glove of Dwyer. It's going to be a tough play on to first. In time! Just in the nick of time to get the pinch hitter Zufelt for the 1-6-3 putout. Bobbled by Dwyer, but an excellent job there from Emily Young to gather herself and get Zufelt just in the nick of time for out number 2. But that does move Jordan Pearson into scoring position, with Brooke Cantillo trying to be the hero in her first game with the Lopes.
That was a hard hit ball from Zufelt, right back where it came from, but a really good job from Dwyer to recover as that one went off her glove and then able to make a good throw as it was a very close play down the first base line. So 2 outs now and a Brooke Cantillo looking to be the hero.
Brooke Cantillo, of course, 1 for 3 on the night, picking up her first hit in the purple and white in her second at bat, lofting one to left field in front of Horexo. Horexo playing in left field All outfielders coming in here. Can't afford to lose this game on a single with a runner on second base. Inoue in at third. First pitch, ripped straight back. Another healthy hack there from Cantillo, trying to end this game with one swing. Count quickly 0-1. Pitch count now up to 95 pitches for Maddie Dwyer.
And if you can't get anything going here, Stanford's got the bottom 8, 9, and then the top of the order coming up, and the Lopes would be right in that heart of the order with 2, 3, 4, and possibly Savannah Torville coming up in the 8th.
0-1 offering to Cantillo. Sliced down the left field line. That one's going to go out of play into the Lopes bullpen, and the count's quickly 0 balls and 2 strikes. So with her back against the wall here, Maddie Dwyer continues to deal against these Lopes hitters. Coming right after them with a steady diet of fastballs. This count quickly 0-2 once more. Cantillo just looking to put something in play. Infield playing straight up. Outfield playing more to the left. Right field line wide open for Cantillo if she can hook one down the line. 0-2 offering from Dwyer. Fastball up. This account moves to 1-2, and it's been the same exact sequence all night long for Maddie Dwyer, getting ahead of these Lopes hitters and trying to get them to chase up in the zone, with the count moving to 1-2.
Really good job to lay off that one by Cantillo, as she's made good contact with the last 2 pitches, and I'm sure she's looking for one in the zone to just drive somewhere and end this game for GCU.
Pearson looking to get a good jump off of second. 1-2 pitch chopped up the middle. Dwyer has it. Shucks it on to first base, and we're getting free softball here in Phoenix. Extra innings here in the GCU softball stadium as the Lopes leave a runner stranded in scoring position at second. Let's go to the 8th here in Phoenix. You're watching GCU softball here on GCU TV.
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders, you're giving them the tools they need to succeed.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Free softball here in Phoenix as we go to the top of the 8th inning, and Ryan Denhart back out on the circle for the purple and white as we take a look at the fans in the stands. Still a packed house here in Phoenix, Arizona. Still scoreless between Stanford and GCU as Ryan Denhart enters this inning with 98 total pitches. We'll deal again, like Kyle mentioned, with the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Cardinal order, starting with Alyssa Horexo, 0 for 2 against Denhart. As she squares around to bunt, lays it down beautifully. Throw on to first. Not going to be in time, off the glove, as that'll put Stanford on the board. Remember, in extra innings, a runner will be at second base to start the inning. Laying down that bunt beautifully is Horexo. And the Lopes unable to make the play on the back end as Lorianne Olson unable to squeeze it over there at first base. Trickles down into right field, and it's 1-0 Cardinal here in the 8th. So it took them 8 innings, but the Cardinal finally get something going here against Ryan Denhart. And a big coup is having that runner to start off the inning at second base here in extra innings. The Lopes will have their chance against Dwyer, putting a runner in scoring position, but that one's got to blow if you're Ryan Denhart.
Absolutely, Jack. It's a big advantage for the offensive team, as you just saw. Stanford taking advantage on that bunt and then the errant throw, but the Lopes can easily get it back. They just got to get out of this inning with no more damage done.
Gindelsperger lays down a bunt on the third base line, but foul, so the count quickly 0-1 with Horexo on first base. And the Lopes, of course, now down by a run. We'll have very little time to figure out Matty Dwyer, who's sure to be on the mound in the bottom half of the 8th inning. It will be the heart of the order, 2, 3, 4 in the lineup for the Lopes with Jaden Reed, Kaylee Holland, and Lily Bishop. As that one's ripped in the air, left center field. Going back is Reed on the track at the wall. One hop up against the wall. Rounding third is Horexo. There's going to be a play at the plate. Here's the throw. As a runner moves to third base, she is out at home plate. What a throw there from the Lopes, but this is not a good sign here. As Kaylee Holland banged up at home plate after the slide from Horexo. As this stadium has gone silent here in the GCU softball stadium.
So it does look like Stanford is going to get another run as the umpire ruled obstruction at the plate by Kaylee Holland. So Stanford looks like it's going to go up 2-0, and we really hope Kaylee Holland is okay as the training staff and Coach Pearson have come out to check on her.
Again, Holland blocking the plate, a very dangerous slide there from Horexo. Coming right into that leg of Kaylee Holland, who, again, still down right in front of home plate, being attended to by the training staff as well as Coach Pearson. Gindelsperger coming over right in front of home plate as well. Everybody gathering together on the circle as of right now as we await play here, resume of play here in the top of the 8th inning. Again, when it comes to catching depth, the Lopes do have Kaylee Diedrich over there at first base. Lily Bishop also listed on the roster as a catcher if need be, but of course, praying for the health right now of Kaylee Holland at the moment. A very dangerous bang-bang play at home plate as it looks like the Lopes are going to attempt to get her to her feet here. Good sign here as looks like she's going to walk under her own power, possibly even stay in this game as she looks to shake this one off. Talking things over with Coach Pearson and that training staff. Talking things over with Ryan Denhart as well. Seems to be laughing things off here. Again, it is a 2-0 lead now for the Cardinal. No outs in the top half of the 8th inning. And this is a really good sign seeing Kaylee Holland taking a jog down first base, loosening up. Again, after that bang-bang play, did not look pretty at home plate, but Kyle, this is a great sign seeing Kaylee Holland walk under her own power, get back in that catching position as she will at least attempt to finish this top half of the 8th inning.
Well, the Lopes do have 3 other catchers if Holland cannot continue. Kaylee Diedrich being one of them. She's been playing first base all night. And then, of course, Lily Bishop, another one of those catchers for GCU. As you can see, Diedrich right there coming over, making sure Holland's okay. And it does look like she's going to get to catch a few here from Denhart just to double-check things.
Again, just a few warm-up tosses here for Kaylee Holland. Looks like she's going to be ready to go to at least finish this top half of the 8th inning. And she is due up second in the bottom half of the 8th inning as well. We'll see how this takes a toll in the batter's box as well as she talks things over with the training staff once more, and it looks like she's going to stay in this game. So a great sign to see here after that collision at home plate with Alyssa Horexo. Again, the home plate umpire calling obstruction on Holland, allowing the run to score. After a great relay from the left side of that Lopes defense, with Jaden Reed getting it in, hitting Torville for the cutoff, and Torville firing it home to Holland. Throw was in time, but again, the call made by the home plate umpire, obstruction on Kaylee Hollins, ended up making this a 2-0 game. Runner on second base. Gindelsberger leads off second as Tegan Cowles digs in. Pitch misses outside, count 1-0. So now with a runner in scoring position and no away, the Lopes trying to stop the bleeding right now, down 2-0. We've seen how Maddie Dwyer has been able to navigate her way through this Lopes offense through the first 7 innings. Corner's in at the bag as that one's going to be called strike on the outside corner. Count moves to 1-1. Denhart's pitch count up well over 100 at this point. Entered the inning with 98 total pitches. Cowles 0 for 3 against Denhart, still trying to figure out the Lopes right-hander. Has flied out to Gianna Nicoletti 3 separate times in this game. As the 1-1 offering is sliced the other way and fouls. The count moves to 1-2. Unfortunately for Ryan Denhart, a masterpiece through 7 innings in this game, but here in the 8th, here in extra innings, both offenses getting a chance to put a runner in scoring position right out of the get-go, playing a big factor with 1 pitch in this 8th inning with Alyssa Horexo laying down a bunt right in front of Denhart as that one's ripped to short. Torville thought about going to third, goes to first, gets the speedy Cowles for the first out of the inning, but the runner does move up to third. As Stanford tries to put a 3 spot up here in the 8th. And that'll bring up Sydney Huff, who's also hitless tonight against Ryan Denhart. 0 for 2 is the freshman. And that'll bring the corners in once again with Dietrich at first, Olsen at third. And the first pitch from Denhart, fastball, clips the outside corner, count 0-1. Tonight Huff walked in her first at-bat, struck out looking in the third, and grounded out to first. An unassisted put-out from Kaylee Dietrich back in the 6th. As the 0-1 offering, fastball, outside corner once again, just a little bit low. This count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. And the only 2 hits, well now 3 hits on the night for Stanford, 2 coming from Gindelsberger, who came into this game hitting 167 from a year ago. And Montana Dixon with that leadoff single in the 5th as that fastball misses outside. Count moves to 2-1. Ryan Denhart could ill afford to fall behind any hitters here with 1 out and a runner on third base. Now, second and first are open with Young waiting on deck. It is the heart of this Stanford order as they make Denhart pay once again. Pokes that one to left. Huff has her first collegiate RBI here in the 8th. And it's 3-0 Cardinal after putting up a 3 spot against Ryan Denhart. No one currently warming up in that Lopes bullpen as Denhart looks to get herself out of further trouble with Emily Young, 3-hitter, due up now as Ryan Denhart will get a brief break here as the pitching coach comes out to talk to her right-hander after a rough top of the 8th inning.
Absolutely, started with that very first pitch of the 8th inning from Ryan Denhart on that bunt, and then the error of trying to field that bunt as, like you mentioned at the top, Jack, you get that runner on second base to start every extra inning here. And Stanford's really taking advantage of it, got 3 on the board right now with 1 out, and now the bases are clear for GCU, so just you can focus on this batter, get the next out, and then you're right back in it on offense, just down by 3. So Lopes can get out of this one with actually they can get out of it with a double play as there is a runner on first after that RBI single. So the Lopes get out of this one right here, go to the bottom of the 8th with the heart of your lineup coming up, and Torville, if you can get to her, would be the winning run.
And again, Ryan Denhart throwing a masterpiece through 7 innings of work. Was doing just fine before, of course, that rule here in extras putting a runner in scoring position like you just mentioned, Kyle. And we'll see how this delayed top half of the 8th inning affects Maddie Dwyer, who both Dwyer and Denhart have been able to get in and out of their innings respectively, their half innings, in quick manner. It's definitely been the longest break so far for Maddie Dwyer. We'll see how this affects her throwing motions in the bottom half of the 8th inning as that second pitch misses outside. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. Lopes would love a double play ground ball here to get themselves out of this inning with Christina Inouye waiting on deck. Again, the heart of the order for Stanford, trying to put more damage on the board. That pitch misses just a bit outside as the count moves to 2-1 now. Again, this has been hurting Denhart all night long, falling behind some of these hitters for Stanford. She was able to navigate her way through the first 7 innings, but can ill afford to fall behind any hitters here on the top of the 8th. Two-1 pitch. Misses low and outside. Count moves to 3-1. And 2 bases are open with Inouye waiting on deck. Ryan Denhart looking to get in the zone here on the circle as she gets the sign from Holland. And delivers the 3-1 offering. Ripped sharply foul on the third base side. Out of play, and the count now moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. It'll be interesting to see if Sydney Huff takes off from first base here. Full count, 1 out, ton of speed over there from the Cardinal freshman. Both Lorianne Olson and Savannah Torville playing straight away at second and short respectively.
Ready to turn 2 there in the middle of the infield as the corners take a couple steps in front of their bases.
Taylor Olson in at third base. It'll be a payoff pitch from Denhart, ripped down the right field line, and it's going to fall foul, says the first base umpire, Eric Jones. A very close call down there.
Awfully
down
close.
The line. Could have been a game changer for Stanford, trying to put runners on the corners with 1 out with Inouye waiting on deck. Instead, we'll do it one more time. 8th pitch of this at-bat upcoming between Young and Denhart. And Huff easily would have been on third base on that base hit down the right field line. Again, we'll see what she does over there at first base. Gets a jump off of first as that one's fouled off once again. So we'll do it once more. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat between Denhart and Emily Young. The sophomore 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out looking in the first, flew out to center in the 4th, and grounded out right back to Ryan Denhart in the 6th. Pitch count up to 110 for Denhart as she offers the payoff pitch once more. Goes with the fastball, cut on and missed for out number 2 as Denhart wins that battle against Young.
Huge strikeout right there, Jack, from Ryan Denhart. Much needed out to get to that second out for GCU. Down by 3 here in the top of the 8th. And Ryan Denhart, way to bounce back.
And again, still needs to get 1 more out to stop the bleeding here in inning number 8. It's Coach Allister going to make a substitution here. Talking things over with the home plate umpire, Robert Huff. And a pinch hitter in at the plate for Stanford. As it looks like Lynn will pinch hit here for the Cardinals. So pinch hitting for Christina Inouye here in the 8th as the first pitch from Denhart misses inside. A called strike by the home plate umpire, Huff, as the count moves to 0-1. A bit of a delayed call there. Huff still on first base. As Denhart goes with the off-speed, going is Huff. Throw down to second, not in time. And despite the off-speed pitch there from Denhart, Lopes still had an opportunity to get Sydney Huff there at second base. An excellent throw there from Holland. Torville just unable to slap the tag on in time as Huff picks up her first stolen base of the season. First stolen base of the night from either side, putting another runner in scoring position for the Cardinal. Looking to make this a 4-run 8th inning with Lim at the plate, takes a fastball up in the zone. Count moves to 2-1 strike. Lim, a freshman, will be her first collegiate appearance here for Stanford. Olsen still playing in at the bag at third base. As a 2-1 offering from Denhart. Misses just a tad bit outside, and she falls behind Lim here. 3-1 strikes with Schultz waiting on deck. First base is open. Put Lim on here, have a chance to get the force out, either at third, second, or first against Schultz, who's also 0 for 2 against Ryan Denhart this evening. Denhart's pitch count way up as another right-hander warming up in the bullpen for Stanford as that fastball misses outside. Another walk for Denhart. Runners on first and second with 2 outs for Emily Schultz, trying to break this game wide open as Coach Pearson comes out, as well as Lexi Coons, as that'll do it for Ryan Denhart. Ryan Denhart's night is over. 7 2/3 innings pitched. Allowed 3 earned runs on 4 hits. She leaves 2. Runners on first and second base are her responsibility as Lexi Coons enters this one for the first time today.
Lexi Coons last season a 2.81 ERA. She went 5-4. She had 4 saves on the season, 54 strikeouts, and 33 walks. The junior from Tucson, Arizona. Lexi Coons coming in, normally does the closer work on this GCU pitching staff. So we'll see if she can get the final out of this inning for GCU as they get propelled into the bottom half of the 8th.
You mentioned that 2.81 ERA, a stellar performance a season ago from Lexi Coons, trying to get the Lopes out of further trouble in this 8th inning. It's been a wild top half of the 8th inning here in Phoenix as, of course, given the rule, Stanford with a runner in scoring position. They've only had 1 runner in scoring position tonight through the first 7 innings, being gifted a runner in scoring position in the top half of the 8th inning, taking advantage of it right off the bat as Alyssa Horexo was able to lay down a perfect bunt as Holland threw to Olsen, covering the bag at first base, with Dietrich coming in on the play. Olsen unable to squeeze it over at first base. That made it a 1-0 game, and Stanford continuing to put the pressure on, tallying 2 more runs against Denhart. Kaylee Holland with a bang-bang play at home plate with Alyssa Horexo. Stays in the game behind home plate as she will now call balls and strikes for Lexi Coons as that first pitch is a fastball outside. Count moves to 1-0. Schultz 0 for 2, like we mentioned. A fly out to center and a pop up to second, as well as a walk against Ryan Denhart. As Huff leads off of second, Lim off of first. 1-0 pitch is sliced in the air, left field. Coming in is Reed. She makes a play, and Coons gets out of further trouble. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Do the Lopes have a rally in their bones? There's only one way to find out as they trail this one 3-0 as Stanford scores 3 runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 runners on base. It'll be Jaden Reed, Kaylee Holland, and Lily Bishop looking to get things going.
Get the best gear to show off your Lope pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. You use promo code GCUTV25 to get 25% off just for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple and Lopes up.
Again, that promo code is capital GCUTV25 to get 25% off your next order. And you mentioned this offense. Something had to give in this game, Kyle, as Maddie Dwyer warms up here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Stanford getting things rolling with a runner in scoring position to start, and the Lopes will also have that opportunity here in the bottom of the 10th. And this has been the longest time period in between innings for Maddie Dwyer. So we'll see if the Lopes can respond here with at least 3 runs in the 8th to keep this game alive.
So they're going to get a runner at second base to start off this inning, so they can easily bounce back right into this one. Only down by 3 now with the heart of the order due up. And with Dwyer coming back out for her 8th inning of work, Gianna Nicoletti actually played high school softball with Dwyer, and wait for it, Ryan Denhart pitched on the same travel team as Maddie Dwyer, so a little bit of a connection between the Lopes and Stanford here in the bottom of the 8th as we get ready to roll with Reed.
Definitely a fun way to kick off the season for both sides as that first pitch is in there for a called strike. Count 0-1. Reed, of course, 1 for 2 on the night. Being hit by a pitch back in the 5th inning. Lopes would love to get on the board here. Show some confidence here against Maddie Dwyer, who's been nothing but brilliant so far here through the first 7 innings as that one's cut on and missed by Reed. And the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. So a very long half inning offensively for Stanford. Maddie Dwyer waiting on the bench, picks up right where she left off, getting ahead of these Lopes hitters quickly ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner leads off of second. Dwyer looking for a quick out number 1, goes with the fastball away. Count moves to 1-2.
And you know what, Maddie Dwyer, she struggled to open up this game. She had to face 5 Lopes batters in the top of, or 6 Lopes batters in the top of the, or in the bottom of the first inning rather, and then she's really settled in with 4 out of the last 7 innings being 1, 2, 3 innings, and she's looking to do it here again.
Pitch misses outside, count moves to 2-2. Lopes, of course, trying to get a few runners on base here with the heart of their order. At the plate, of course, Kaylee Holland on deck, Lily Bishop and Savannah Torville looming as well. If you get 1 or 2 base runners here, one swing of the bat changes the whole complexion of this game here in the bottom of the 8th. As the 2-2 offering to Reed, slap the other way down the left field line. It's gonna slice foul right in front of Herexo, so we'll do it again. 2-2 offering coming. 105 pitches so far for Maddie Dwyer in this game. Ryan Denhart finishing with 120 plus before handing over the duties to Lexi Coons to get the final out in the top of the 8th. Cantillo leads off of second. It'll be a 2-2 offering from Dwyer to Reed. Looking for her second hit on the night. Slaps that one foul and we'll do it again. So Lopes continuing to add to that pitch total of Maddie Dwyer in this game. Throw her 106th pitch. But again, with Holland and Bishop looming, Reed just trying to get on base here to get the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th. First and third in. 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed. Reed way ahead of that pitch up in the zone from Dwyer. She goes down on strikes, and there is 1 away here in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Strikeout number 5 for Maddie Dwyer on the evening so far. She puts 1 away, and now the Lopes down to their final 2 outs.
And it looks like we'll see a meeting here on the mound. Again, a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for Stanford, and it looks like that's going to be all for Maddie Dwyer. Dwyer going 7 in the 3rd innings, not allowing a runner on, or the runner on second base is her responsibility. Allowing 4 hits, 4 walks, and like you just mentioned, Kyle ends her night with her 5th strikeout on the night, looking to pick up her first win of the 2020 campaign as Stanford goes to the bullpen, making the call to the bullpen. As Kiana Pansino, the right-hander, all set to do battle here with both Kaylee Holland and Lily Bishop, trying to secure the final 2 outs here in Phoenix, trying to kick off their GCU kickoff tournament with a big win in extra innings here on opening night.
Last season, Kiana Pansino, who is now a senior, she went 7-0 last year on the win-loss column. She had a 2.49 ERA. She had 3 shutouts and 8 saves, so looking to get her first save on the season. She pitched 50 2/3 innings, giving up 38 hits and 24 runs while walking 22 but striking out 42, and also gave up 7 home runs, and her opponent's batting average was just .213.
So we thought Maddie Dwyer was an obstacle for the Lopes in this game. Pansino trying to make matters worse here against Holland and Bishop. Holland was 0 for 3 against Dwyer. Struck out looking in the first, flew out to right in the 3rd, and flew out to center in the 5th. Again, just trying to get the tying run to the plate in Lily Bishop. Ripped down the third base line and foul as Holland all over that one. Again, Holland, a part of a bang-bang play at home plate in the top half of the 8th inning. Initially did not look good for the Lopes, as well as Kaylee Holland. Was able to finish things out in the top half of the 8th inning. On that swing, it appears that she's all good to go here in the batter's box as well, as it'll be an 0-1 offering from Pansino. Runner off of second base. That one popped up on the right side. Looks like it's going to stay in play for Schultz. She puts it away, and the Lopes are down to their final out. So Holland 0 for 4 on the night here on opening night, as Cantillo will again lead off of second base. At least try and get a good jump here, as Lily Bishop again trying to pass the baton to Savannah Torville, who would indeed be the tying run if she can get a plate appearance here against Pansino.
And it would be very big if the Lopes right now could maybe get one across here on this at bat from Bishop, but if not, bring up Torville with 2 runners on, and we all know how dangerous Savannah Torville can be.
First pitch from Pansino. Fastball ripped right back by Bishop. Count quickly 0-1. Bishop, one of the 4 hits against Maddie Dwyer, picking up a single in the 3rd inning. Was hit by a pitch back in the 1st and grounded out softly to second back in the 6th. Again, the Lopes will look back at this game if they're unable to complete this comeback at that 1st inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs against Dwyer. 24 pitches total from the Stanford right-hander in that 1st inning, as Cantillo is going to take off for 3rd, and she's going to be gunned down at 3rd base, and Stanford is going to pick up an opening night victory here on the road to kick off this tournament. 3-0 win for Stanford. A brilliant performance from Maddie Dwyer, going 7 1/3 innings. She'll pick up her first win of the season. Ryan Denhart with 7 masterful innings against that Stanford offense, but in the end, allowing 3 runs on 2 hits in that 8th inning as Stanford pulls away with a big win.
Absolutely. Stanford came alive in that 8th inning, and it started because they get that runner on second base. They lay one down to try and move her over, and they do, and then the error on the Lopes there on that bunt coverage scored the first run of the ball game in the top of the 8th inning, and then Stanford jumped all over Ryan Denhart. And then Lexi Coons came in, shut down Stanford with just a few pitches, really, and then the Lopes unable to get anything going in the bottom of the 8th. So the 3-0 win starts the GCU season in the GCU kickoff tournament with a Stanford win.
And again, the Lopes had their opportunities. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom half of the 1st inning, but Dwyer able to get herself into and out of trouble, and she, again, was in cruise control through those final 6 1/3 innings. Again, the final score, Stanford 3, GCU 0. Thanks for tuning in to the GCU Kickoff Tournament. We've got Lopes softball all weekend long with our next game tomorrow afternoon against Weber State. Tune in at 4:30 right here on GCU TV. Follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. From everybody here at GCU TV, alongside Kyle Borg, I'm Jack O'Hara saying have a great rest of your night. And as always, go Lopes.